Yo, what's up? This is the first video on my channel. You know, it's the first video to the unprofitable to profitable series. So I'm gonna be doing this series till till I get my first payout. I know that it really shouldn't be the mindset, but I just want to document everything and show my journey. So to start off the day, at the time of my daily buys, we had a lot of selling pressure. Before pre-market. And it was right after London when we started having a lot of selling pressure. Sorry, like we had a lot of selling pressure, and at the time of my buys, it was high time frame PD arrays. You see we have this 1 hour bearish gap right here. I was waiting for price to manipulate into and capitalize. So at the time of this candle, you see this candle, we're bearish, and 10 a.m. open, we reversed. So there were a lot of confluences. There are high time frame inverse for value gaps. There was liquidity sweeps, and during this, like today, I was really targeting like key opens because like pre-market, like my pre-market analysis, I was targeting key opens like I think it was 10 a.m. open. I was targeting 10 a.m. open. I was targeting 6 p.m. open. The key open points. So if we scroll down, actually, okay, so this is what really like made me short today. So this unfilled gap tapped into this 830 imbalance, and then we formed the IVG. So I scrolled down to the lower time frame, and that was one of my confluences. Then once we scroll down to the 5-minute, we do have another inverse value gap. We have a sweep. You see we broke equal lows. We have a sweep, CISD, inverse value gap, and I waited for the closure on the 930 candle because I'm not gonna lie, I'll admit I was scared because I don't like trading the first candle of the New York Open, because anything can happen. But honestly, I should have capitalized off of it because if we're already having like a bunch of selling pressure, why not? So I think one of the mistakes I made was not entering after the closure of this candle because this formed the CISD and this formed the inverse value gap. So the 935 candle at this closure is when I entered. So I entered around this range, and I think the mistake I made, honestly, was moving my stop loss. So initially my stop loss was like around the open of this 930 candle right here, and I moved it once I saw this candle moving down. That's the mistake I made. So once I moved it down, I think I moved it down to like the wick of this candle. Price ran through my stop and went straight to my take profit. So yeah, that's how I lost today. And I think things that you should notice: make sure you have a very nice protected stop, You trust yourself, you trust your bias, you just trust yourself enough, honestly. Like I knew my bias was correct. I knew myself. I knew there was nothing wrong with my setup. I was targeting low resistance points, and I was doing everything correctly. It's just I made you see what one mistake could do. So I moved my stop, and I got rinsed. Honestly, I got liquidated. I got liquidated, and price ran straight to my take profit, and I'll capitalize off of it for my future trades. And I'm just documenting this to let other people know that you shouldn't make the same mistake. So yeah, I think a better stop would have been keeping my stop loss at the open of this 930 candle, honestly. And I should have entered off the 930 candle. Once I saw like sellers were stepping in and the CISD was being formed, and it was tapped, and it was disrespecting this bullish gap. Honestly, I should have entered at this 930 candle. But that's my trade. That's how I lost, and I'll catch y'all later.